Ryan Hummel here again, looking at some more microdetritus berms. I want you to look at this. This is waist-high debris, but it's not even 3 feet wide. This thing acted like a giant energy dissipator with a river rushing up here. It filters out all this wonderful, wonderful soil. That's going to eventually compact down and help build up these trees. This was obviously a fence line. You can see the cut stumps. This was somebody's fence line. And what ended up happening is they probably took the fence down some years ago, but they left just these few stumps. But look what these stumps did. This is exactly why you want to leave your flood debris in the river. These few stumps, those six or seven stumps, caught and held back all of this flood debris and slowed the water down. And nature just put it here. I mean, nobody did this. The only thing they did is they left a couple of trees up in the floodplain. So this little hackberry tree, and this is an exotic, but this is the ligustrum. It does the same purpose. It captures a piece of debris, and that piece of debris captures smaller debris, and that piece, you basically, it makes a filter. And this filter filters out even all of these fine sediments. We've got little bitty twigs, we've got oak needles, we've got more oak leaves. You'll find little, there's a little piece of styrofoam in there. It captures everything, including seeds. Here's a little walnut seed. So now what's gonna happen is as these seeds sprout, you're gonna get another line of trees right here that help catch the next flood, even if it's 150 years from now. So you definitely do not want to cut your trees down. You want to leave your trees in the floodplain because they are what nature uses to slow spread and sink this water into the landscape. So imagine right above here, this whole area turned into a lake during a flood. So if you pan across that, you can see the microdetritus berm. This whole field caught some of that water, and that water slowly infiltrated in the groundwater system. And now, after the flood has subsided, we're about 2 weeks out from the flood, the water that was here has soaked into the ground and slowly gone back to the river as spring flow. And so if you do this on a large enough scale, the water that soaks into this upland aquifer recharge structure, this natural upland aquifer recharge structure, the water slowly soaks into the ground, being purified by plant roots and by the physical process of soaking into an aquifer. And then it gets pushed into the river at a very slow rate. So you stop the flood when nobody wants the water, and you re-release that water during times of drought when everybody downstream is thirsty. So we need to make sure that our efforts, our flood control efforts are done to affect positive change and not negative change. If you go and you remove all the trees from the floodplain and you remove all this large woody debris, which is one of the most important factors of slowing down the flood, if you remove all this stuff, you're just inviting the next flood to be bigger, badder, meaner, higher, faster, and just in general worse. So let's put our efforts to making good land management decisions and not making, here, turn around, look at this pile, and not making bad land management decisions. I'm pretty confident that's just going to be burned into ash, and ash has no potential to slow down the flow of water. Like if we look here, I can see erosion in bare soil where water's flowing back to the river that way. The sediment got laid up because of that berm slowed the water down. The sediment, this was a still area of water. The sediment got laid in here on top of grasses. The sediment's on top of grasses, and then later on the water comes and flows, and you get erosion all the way back down the river. You can stop the erosion, basically, if you have some little bitty pieces of debris, and those get wedged in place like that. Pretty soon, this will make a little beaver dam. You'll catch your sediments there, and you can do this on any scale, virtually any scale that you like. But the further upstream you do it, the more positive impact you have. Thanks again for watching, guys. Appreciate it.